Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're crushing morning miles or sprinting through back-to-back meetings, give your body the energy, protein, and power it needs to help you conquer your goals. Only at Smoothie King.
The year is 2025. John Bishop, a famous historian, moves with his family to Tainan, Taiwan. He's looking for inspiration for his new book. His wife Mary, a well-known novelist, wants a change of scenery. Their teenage daughter, Lily, is sad about leaving her friends and her life behind. Tainan, a city full of history and traditions, seems like the perfect place for a fresh start. The Bishops find an old colonial house on the outskirts of the city. Its lost grandeur and large gardens whisper stories of a time gone by. Excited to make this house their home, they ignore the neighbors' rumors. Haunted, John doesn't care, calling the stories just superstitions. They are a modern family. They don't believe in ghosts. They will soon find out they are wrong. The house keeps secrets. Dark secrets. The first sign is the temperature. It drops drastically, as if the air itself is emptied of its warmth. No matter how many layers of clothes you wear, the cold chills you to the bone. Lily feels a shiver down her spine, even on the warmest days. Then come the sounds. At first, they are almost imperceptible, like a distant whisper barely audible through the wind. Footsteps echoing in the dead of night. Sometimes they seem to come from everywhere, other times from a specific place, but they are always there, right at the edge of hearing. Doors creaking open, seemingly on their own. It's as if the house itself is alive, breathing and moving in the shadows. Mary ignores them, thinking of them as old house noises. It's just the wood settling, she tells herself, trying to calm her nerves. John blames them on the wind. Old houses always make weird noises, he remarks, although deep down, he knows there's something else. One night, Lily wakes up to a faint humming coming from the attic. It's a constant, almost hypnotic sound, drawing her towards its source. She approaches the closed door, her heart pounding. The humming stops. She tries to open the door, locked. The feeling of being watched is overwhelming. Fear washes over her. Every shadow seems to move. Every sound is amplified. She feels something is right behind her, but doesn't have the courage to look. She runs back to her room, convinced they are not alone in the house. The shadows lengthen, as if they want to grab her. The whispers get louder. They are no longer just sounds, but words, incomplete sentences that seem to come from everywhere and nowhere. The Bishops can no longer ignore the feeling that something is wrong. The house, once their refuge, now feels like a trap. Each family member feels the presence, but no one dares to speak of it. The tension rises, and with it, the certainty that something dark and ancient lives among them. Driven by his historian's curiosity, John decides to explore the attic. Since childhood, he has always been fascinated by the mysteries of the past, and the attic of the old house promised to be a treasure trove of forgotten secrets. With each step he took towards the ladder, his heart beat with anticipation. The wood creaked under his feet, as if the house itself was whispering stories of the past. He finds a loose floorboard, revealing a hidden key. The key, rusty and old, seemed to have waited decades to be discovered. John held it in his hand, feeling the weight of the stories it might unlock. What doors would this key open? What secrets did the attic hold? Hands shaking, he opens the attic door. The door creaked as it opened, as if protesting being disturbed after so many years. John took a deep breath, filling his lungs with the musty attic air. Darkness enveloped him, but his curiosity was stronger than his fear. Dust particles dance in the single ray of sunlight penetrating a crack in the boarded-up window. The dust, suspended in the air, seemed to tell stories of a time long past. John moved slowly, his eyes adjusting to the dim light. Each step raised more dust, creating a veil that enveloped him. The air is heavy, filled with the smell of mildew and incense. The scent was a mix of ancient and sacred, as if time had stood still in this place. John felt a strange calmness, as if the attic was welcoming him. In the center of the room is a small ornate altar. The altar, covered in dust, seemed to have been forgotten by time. Yet its presence was imposing, as if it held secrets waiting to be revealed. It is adorned with faded silks, tarnished silver objects, and photographs of strangers. Each object on the altar seemed to have its own story. The fabrics, though faded, still showed traces of their former glory. The silver objects, though tarnished, shone with a peculiar light. Some photographs are old, their edges darkened by time. The images in sepia showed faces of people John didn't recognize. Yet there was something familiar in their gazes, as if they were watching him from the past. Others are more recent. The faces staring at John filled with a disturbing sadness. The more recent photographs showed faces that seemed to know their fate. Their sad and melancholic gazes filled John with a sense of unease. As he reaches out to touch a photograph, a gust of cold wind slams the door shut. The noise echoed through the attic, bouncing off the walls. John jumped, his heart pounding. The wind seemed to have come from nowhere, as if the attic itself were alive. The room plunges into darkness. The light that previously illuminated the attic is gone, leaving John in total darkness. The darkness was palpable, as if it was enveloping him in a cold embrace. Panic grips John. His breathing quickens and he can feel the cold sweat on his forehead. The feeling of being watched has intensified, and every shadow seemed to come alive. He fumbles for the doorknob, his heart pounding in his ears. His hands trembled as he tried to find the way out. Every second in the darkness seemed like an eternity. The door opens, revealing Mary and Lily terrified in the hallway. Their faces reflected the same fear that John felt. The connection between them was palpable, and together they knew they had unearthed something more than just memories in that attic. News of the bishop's haunted house spreads through the neighborhood. Rumors fly, and soon everyone in the community is talking about the strange happenings. Lights flicker for no apparent reason, and whispers are heard at night when no one is there. The Bishop family, desperate, doesn't know where to turn. Mrs. Chen, an elderly neighbor known for her wisdom and knowledge of local legends, visits the family. She has lived in the neighborhood for over 50 years and has witnessed many strange things. With a serious but kind expression, she sits down with the bishops to offer her help. She brings with her steaming cups of jasmine tea and stories about the Hungry Ghost Festival. This festival, she explains, is an ancient Chinese tradition during which it is believed that the spirits of the dead return to the world of the living in search of comfort and food. Mrs. Chen pours the tea with her trembling but steady hands, and the bishops listen attentively. The spirits of the dead roam the earth during this time, she explains in a soft voice. These spirits, known as hungry ghosts, seek offerings and prayers to help them find peace. Mrs. Chen says that these spirits can be both benevolent and malevolent, depending on how they were treated in life and the circumstances of their death. They are hungry for remembrance, for peace. Mrs. Chen pauses, looking into the eyes of each member of the Bishop family. She says that the hungry ghosts are not looking to cause harm, but that they are lost and need to be guided towards the light. The family listens with a mix of fear and hope, wishing to find a solution to their problem. She tells them about the previous occupants of the house, a wealthy family who perished in a fire many years ago. The tragedy left an indelible mark on the house, and the spirits of the family never found rest. Mrs. Chen recounts how the fire consumed everything in its path, leaving only ashes and painful memories. Their souls, unable to find peace, remained trapped within the walls of the house. The residual energy of their suffering and despair permeated every corner of the house, creating an atmosphere of unease and sadness. The bishops shiver upon hearing this, understanding for the first time the magnitude of what they are facing. They are not evil, Mrs. Chen assures them. They are simply lost and forgotten. The elderly neighbor explains that the hungry ghosts need to be remembered and honored to find peace. She suggests that they make offerings and pray for the lost souls, hoping to ease their suffering. They are simply lost and forgotten. Mrs. Chen explains that in her culture, it is common to perform rituals to honor the dead and help them find their way. She speaks of the importance of remembering those who have passed and keeping their memory alive. She advises them to seek the help of a Taoist priest. This priest, she says, has the knowledge and experience to communicate with the spirits and guide them towards peace. Mrs. Chen explains that the priest can perform specific rituals that will help appease the hungry ghosts and restore harmony to the house. He can guide them, she says, and help you find a way to appease the spirits. The Bishop family, though still afraid, feels a glimmer of hope. They decide to follow Mrs. Chen's advice and seek the help of the Taoist priest, hoping to finally bring peace to their home and the souls that inhabit it.